Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those within the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Welcome to Insights. I'm Sherry Stewart. We're continuing our celebration of Women's History Month, which brings us to the Besser Museum right here in Alpena. Joining me to kick off today's conversation is Amanda Kusharik. She is the Education Coordinator here at Besser. Thank you for joining me today and spending time with us.
Thanks for coming in.
Well, I know we hear a lot about Jesse Besser, but also his wife Anna was an equal partner in this whole enterprise. So I know we want to spend most of our time talking about her today, as it's Women's History Month that we're still celebrating. But I know we want to start first with the timeline of this whole Besser enterprise. So let's just start there.
Sure. So what we want to look at first is Jesse and his family. So Jesse and his family, Jesse was born in New York, in Buffalo, New York. And his family, his father, Herman, they were German. And we're really in search of the American dream.
The whole migration.
Exactly. Yeah. And so they came over to Alpena, Michigan, settled here, and Herman was really looking at what kind of enterprise that they could really change for the better. And so they started at, and here we are in our Besser hallway here, they started at a machine shop. They had the Besser Churchill Mill Company, and they were really working at the log industry that was so big at that time. And construction was incredibly important at that time because of all of these people who were relocating, all of these settlers who were, looking to build towns, build cities. And through that, they started investigating, well, is there a better way to make a concrete block? And so that's where the hand tamp concrete block machine came in. So Jesse and his father, this would have been about 1904, 1906. This is where we start to see a real shift in the way that machinery is being constructed to make these blocks. And they were able to produce way more concrete block than any other kind of machine was able to produce. And so that's really where the Besser company that we know today in making those block machines is getting its start. So as this business is really taking hold, Jesse, he's a young man, and we've always known him to be very scholarly. He was very much involved in his studies, a great student, made real great connections with a lot of his students in classes. And through that, he was able to build this network of young men looking to build this company better. And that's when he met Anna Besser. So Anna Miller Mulvena was her maiden name. They were born in the same year, 1882, grew up in the same town here in Alpena. And when they met, got together, it was the most perfect match that you could ever have between two people, perfect teamwork. And so they were married in Anna's family home. That family home, later, that ground became site of their Besser home that they were later to build in 1938. If you're somebody who's local to Alpena, you might notice this Besser home. Built in 1938, it is on 2nd Avenue. So family was very important to both Jesse and to Anna. Their families were both highly involved in, all of the business that became the Besser company. Jesse worked with his father for very many years. Anna and her family were very supportive of the Besser company and were really interested in learning more about what this company was all about. Herman, Jesse's father, was very instrumental to Jesse's business sense. And he was absolutely devastated when Herman passed away in 1926. However, Anna was always at his side, and she became the first vice president of the Besser Company. So she stepped into that leadership role as Herman exited.
Now, just in 1926, just
Yes.
think about for a woman to step in a huge leadership role.
You know, thinking about the 1920s in America,
Yeah.
thinking about how this would have been so close to the ratification of the 19th Amendment, and you know, you were seeing women really take an active role in the workforce between World War I and World War II. This is also looking ahead at the Great Depression is about to really take hold on the country. And so this was a really instrumental time in the Besser companies that they really needed to work hard, stay dedicated to keep this manufacturing running. And so as a team, Jesse and Anna, they would participate in national leadership conventions, and she was there not only as his wife but a business partner. And so that's what it's really important, is that, you know, not only was she there as a personal partner, you know, her job title as vice president was not an honorary one. You know, she really was somebody who stepped up into the business world. And so she was engaged with leaders all over the country and was viewed as a leader here at home. A lot of the men working in the shop knew Anna as somebody who took charge of the whole payroll. She was the person who was really involved in making sure that everybody was getting what they were supposed to be getting, and they knew to see her out on the shop floor, you know. She was involved in all of that and took an interest in the workers' lives, and, you know, was congratulatory if they were to get married or have children. And that's something that's really important, is to have somebody in leadership in a company who, you know, really takes note of everything that's going on in the company.
Yeah, it sounds like she really had her pulse on the company.
Yes.
Definitely serving in that leadership role. Just a fascinating story already. We're going to take a quick break, but wanting to learn more about Anna Besser and her role in this whole Besser enterprise.
Insights will return after these messages.
Welcome back to Insights. We're continuing our conversation with Amanda Kosharek here at the Besser Museum, and just a fascinating discussion about Anna Besser and her role in the enterprise. And so at the break, you were telling us that she is now vice president at this time of the company.
Right. So we're looking at Anna and her role as a leader in this company. Really,
Yeah.
you know, it's not just that she's the wife of this leader, it's that she's a leader too. And that's really important to recognize.
So how did the whole philanthropic arm of the Besser family, how did that start?
Right. So Anna and Jesse together, they really had an eye on public education and really getting the community involved in the endeavors around. So they were very active in their church life, very active in their family life. They never ended up having children of their own. And so their family together, you know, they were very, very close knit. But they really were looking outside at the community and saying, how can we share our mission and our values with the community. And so that's where we start looking at what became the Besser Foundation. And so that, as something that exists today, you could really see how the Bessers, you know, since they've now since passed and gone away, they still have a hand in really shaping what our community looks like today. The Besser Foundation at the time, so that came together in about 1944. But, you know, they were looking at ways, how do they share their wealth, all of the things that they've learned at the time. So in 1944, this is what was created to receive and administer funds for scientific, educational, religious, and charitable purposes. And so they were really looking at how can we affect a great amount of people here in Alpena for public welfare. Through these funds, this is where the Catholic Central High School was constructed and First Congregational Church. So you'll notice that great big building in the middle of downtown. And so even today, we're looking at the Besser Foundation as a major contributor here at the Besser Museum, at the Boys and Girls Club, Alpena Public Schools, Thunder Bay Marine Sanctuary, countless other projects and organizations. And that really was within the spirit of what they wanted to do, they wanted to achieve, is really be supportive of all kinds of learning, education, and really a community-based effort. Anna, unfortunately, passed away before the construction of the museum here, but it was really out of that spirit that the museum was able to come to fruition. So that's something that we really have to look back at, that 1944 decision at the foundation, to be grateful for. Yes.
Now, what are your thoughts, Amanda, when you do your research and you find out that people were so forward-thinking, that their pulse, that their touch on the community is still evident today? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's really incredible because, I'm thinking as, a younger person, when I was in elementary school, I went to Anna M. Besser Elementary School, and so that school was constructed with Anna in mind. Really, it opened right upon her passing, and so she's really been a part of my life individually. I know that as a young person, my family brought me to the museum. I was always participating in different activities around town, all of these different things that were touched by the funds, and so really, these people who are looking at the family, Anna herself, looking at all of these photos the other day, I had to laugh because, I've never met her, and she's so many decades removed from me. But, you can see, like in my education myself, how you kind of feel like you get to know these people. And so that's why we're really appreciative, and we really think that it's important to shine a light on all of these connections here at the Besser Museum. And that's really why we want to shine a light on Anna especially.
Yeah, I think that she's certainly inspirational. Like you say, we're several decades removed from her, but still, if you look at her legacy that she left, it's definitely one that's certainly impressive.
Yes, and actually upon her passing, so she passed September 23rd, 1958, the Detroit Free Press recognized her by stating that she was one of few women to hold a top management post in Michigan, and she was vice president of Besser Company, largest manufacturer of concrete block producing machinery. The wife of Jesse H. Besser, president, her title was not a courtesy one, as she was a big factor in the firm's success. And to really see her celebrated on that level of, the statewide paper like that, it's just really humbling to see how she's had this effect both personally, but then also far-reaching. And so that's really why we want to celebrate.
Yeah, it definitely is a fascinating story. And as you learn more about her, what do you think she would say about the museum today and the school being named after her, and the foundation, and how the organizations that you help, as you mentioned, the Boys and Girls Clubs and some of the others in the community? What do you think she might have to say about that?
Well, I know that she was a friendly and kind of soft-spoken soul, but as we were talking about yesterday, how we really would like to include more interpretation here at the museum about her. We said it's about time. So I hope that she would be appreciative, and we really do look at her in a celebratory way. And so I hope that she would really, really enjoy that.
Definitely well deserved. Well, we have a quick break coming up. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation about Anna Besser and what other things you have going on in the museum.
Sure.
Insights will return after these messages.
Welcome back to Insights. We're just finishing up our conversation today with Amanda Kucharek at the Besser Museum here, and just a delightful conversation about Anna Besser. At the break, you were saying that you were confident that she would be pleased at all the work that's been done and the legacy that's been able to be carried on under their name.
Yes, and so us as a team here at the Besser Museum, we've really been reflecting on Anna's enthusiasm and her lifetime of service, really, for the community. And we're really proud to support in continuing this Besser mission of we are here to create and share culturally enriching experiences in art, history, and science. And we really want to do this for the betterment of Northeast Michigan here. And our reach across Northeast Michigan, we get people from across in Traverse City who come and visit. We get people come from downstate who come and visit. Especially how this year has been so different.
Yeah.
We are really grateful that we still have the type of facility where we can host people from different groups. Our team works really hard to make sure that everybody's going to have a great experience when they come and visit. We have all kinds of different content for different reasons. So especially with families who are looking for different educational resources to supplement how classes have changed this year.
They have certainly changed.
Yes, and so we want to make sure that we have something to offer whenever people are coming in the door that is going to supplement and affect that education, make sure that all of our students are coming out better than they came in.
Yeah, it's definitely a wonderful place. Just a lot of rich history here.
Yes, and we really want to keep it going where we have both, historical artifacts that are from this area, but we also want to celebrate local community talents. So especially in regards to our art that's coming in. We always have juried and non-juried shows. We want to make sure people are always coming in, participating, and trying new things and really sharing what their gifts are with the rest of the community. And I think that that's in line with the spirit of Anna and Jesse together is really sharing what you have that makes you special with everybody around you.
And you guys are open.
Yes,
you
we are.
Open to tours, so we want everybody to know that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are. So we are open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Every day of the week except for Sunday. Sunday we are open from 12 to 4.
Okay.
A big part of education, as far as the Bessers were concerned, they loved going to museums. Jesse really loved the idea of a planetarium, so we also have a planetarium.
Which is fantastic.
So yes, the planetarium is available for shows Thursday through Sunday, and so we have a separate schedule for that. So I really recommend you check that out as well. We'd like everybody to come and see us at least one point in their lives because we have so much to share.
Absolutely. So do you have any new shows coming in as we get through the summer months as we're heading that way? I know we just celebrated spring, the start of spring, but what are you guys anticipating as we head down the road?
Well, in April, Earth Day is coming up.
That is coming up soon.
And so we are really looking forward to having some new offerings. We will always have something really cool in the planetarium. Jonathan, our planetarium coordinator, does a great job of answering any questions that you've got that are related to Earth and space science. He knows a whole lot about black holes, so you could ask him anything about that. But as it concerns Earth Day, we have all kinds of great things. Our Habitat Earth show, fantastic program. I really recommend it, and it is one of my favorites.
Absolutely. And I know we were talking off break, when we were off camera, about so many resources have had to be put online because of the pandemic, but you guys have done a great job with that.
Yeah, so we are always looking at our social media and seeing how we can connect with our fans and viewers and some people who are not even local to Alpena. We do have a lot of our Facebook friends who are just, from outside of Michigan. And so we try to keep on top of Facebook and Instagram, keeping that current. We also have a YouTube page where a lot of content from the planetarium is starting to go up there. We're trying lots of new things to make sure that we can outreach as far as we can. And we've even updated our website to make it a little bit easier to get around. So we're really looking at how can we get people who can't come into the museum or are outside of our area, we really want to make sure that they're still able to participate as well.
Absolutely, and I believe that would make Anna Besser happy too. Absolutely too. Yeah. And I guess before we end the show, if she had a message to women in this time, what do you think she might say? What are some of the things you think she might say?
I feel like, looking at how she was so much more than, she was a great companion for her husband. And I think that that's really important to talk about. But she really believed in teamwork. And so it really is that teamwork attitude and spirit that she had where, she's not only supportive on a personal family side, but on the business side as well. And really it was an all-around positive teamwork attitude. I think that that's something that we can all learn from.
Yeah, well, I have just enjoyed learning about her today. It's just been a fascinating story. Yeah, thank you for sharing today.
Well, thank you for coming in, and I'm really glad that we were able to share this story.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have for you this week. If you have a question, comment, or story idea, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at news@wbkb11.com. I'm Sherry Stewart. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.